Okay, we're a few minutes
Yay.
early, but hello everybody. Happy New Year. I
Happy
have
New Year.
I have with me my posse. You're my posse. I got Lulu Morris, I got Matthew Pierce, and got me, Deborah Colleen Rose, and here we are again at the Crystal Clear Point Studios, and we're talking in the new year, 2025. And we're hoping some of you join us. I hope some of you are watching us on Facebook at least. We're posting this live. We're also recording it. And we're just going to talk for an hour and we're going to drink a lot. I have my bottle of champagne. What are you drinking, Matthew?
It's called a Batista. And mine has Kahlua,
Oh,
chocolate rum, and ice cream.
oh, damn. Now I want one. I just got a plain champagne. And show them your
I'll tell you
glass.
what, yum.
Look at this beautiful glass.
I may not
Oh,
have
yes.
champagne, but I have a beautiful glass. It
What do you have
Ravenswood
in there?
Symphonyville. Ravenswood Symphonyville. It's
Oh,
the
there
only
you
red
go.
wine I find that I like.
Oh, but it's pretty. It looks like blood. I like
Hmm.
it. Speaking of blood, I went to see that new movie, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yes, thank you.
Nosferatu, yeah.
And I can't say it when I'm sober. I can probably say it when I'm drunk, so you know I'm sober. That was the weirdest effing movie because it made me think about vampires in a totally different way than I've ever thought about them before. It kind of freaked me out.
What was the name of it again? No, I'm not asking
Nosferatu.
you. Huh?
Yeah, that
Nosferatu. Nosferatu.
That's
Nosferatu.
fucking German, and it took place in a German. It was the original kind of vampire story
Hmm.
that they made into a movie in the 1920s. And it was very scary and very creepy. And they pointed out, first of all, they never made him look good looking. So it wasn't like Gary Oldman, oh yeah, he's hot. I'll do him. He was always like tattered and decaying and ugly and these long ass fingernails. And I think maybe that's why I'm not a fan of long fingernails in general. Seriously, because I can remember watching that movie as a child, and there's someone logging in. Hello, and but
Samsung SM
yeah, we'll get them a name in a minute. And but the thing is that they equated him to being a demon, and I've never heard. I mean, they were just very specific about him being a
Yeah.
demon, and I had
Oh
never
wow.
thought about it in that context. It was like vampires were a species and werewolves are a species and zombies are a species. And to put it in that context, I don't know. It kind of freaked me out. Gave me a lot to think about. Have you seen it, Matthew?
I have not. I want to go see it. I want to see Wicked before I actually go see Nosferatu. So
No, 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 no.
do not say a word about it. I'm going to make my own mind up about it because I'm a Wicked fan. So
The story sounds fascinating. I would love to see the movie if they would take the music out. Just get rid of the music because
it's
the
a
story.
musical. A musical.
But
You
why?
can't really take
It
the
doesn't need
music
to
out of a
be.
musical.
It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be a musical.
Let's like saying let's take horror out of Nosferatu.
No, 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 no. I just want to see. I decided I'm going to watch Mamma Mia since it's on streaming now, and I'm just going to mute the music when it comes up because I hate ABBA. So
Don't be messing with my ABBA,
I
okay?
can't stand
My
ABBA, and
Hitchhike Queen will come out very, very quickly.
the guy that wrote the music for Hamilton, what was his name? Lin Manuel something
Mm.
something. Can't stand that. Can't stand his music. Samsung SMS9, who are you? And talk to us. You're not muted. Talk to us. Ground control to Major Tom. Oh, it's
Hello,
Karen.
I'm here.
Hi,
Hi.
Karen. What's up with you?
It won't let me start a video. It says it's been disabled. So,
But then you have to go into your video settings. But that's
oh, that's
okay.
weird. Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to show y'all the pretty bonfire I've got going for us.
Oh, I
Okay.
want to see it. You need to
To
have a
metaphor,
retreat. You should have a retreat and invite us.
well, I'm hopefully I'm going to get in there soon.
Well, that's my only intent. I don't do New Year's Eve or New Year's resolutions because that's stupid. But I do have an intent for 2025 besides
Yeah.
working as much and making more money. That's an intent. And the other one is to travel a lot, lots. And I can combine the two if I need to. So I can
Yes.
to make money.
It lets me be on video on every other Zoom thing I've ever been on. I don't understand.
Well, I don't either, honey.
This is
Let
so
me,
weird.
oh, here. I just changed something. Does that help?
Let's see. Let me go to my.
Ask to start video. I don't know, honey. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
All right.
weird.
So who wants to do a reading for Karen?
Oh, there it is! Yay!
Sure.
Oh, look, there it is.
That's
Can you
gorgeous.
see it?
Yeah,
I can. We can see it. Yes.
Awesome.
I can
We
see
can
it.
metaphorically throw all of our things away for the 2024 we no longer wish to carry.
Oh
I
my God,
love that.
I'm gonna burn down New York. I mean,
Well,
my
they
fire
might need it.
was
They're
so
getting
big.
real wet right now.
It'll be so big it could burn up the whole city of New York, is what I meant to say.
Right. How
Flash
short do you
fire.
want the readings to be?
Lou,
How
are you
short
gonna
do you
do
want the readings to be?
Yeah, I will.
Lou, you doing it? You doing it?
Oh, Karen,
Oh
you
shit.
need something to inspire you to have a more balanced life. You, I know
Cheers.
you've been I know you've been practicing some healing, so the healing will come this year. If you have more balance. And just remember, the longer you stay stuck where you are, there's going to be consequences.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
what kind? Tell her what kind.
Well, she's going to start losing hope that there will ever be something different.
I'm planning on the next 30 days either getting a house rented or buying something. And I'm getting the
Okay.
document drawn up for him to sign this coming week so I can
Well,
purchase a house.
I
Here,
think
are
that
you coming to DFW?
Yes.
Yay!
it's about time.
McKinney. Yeah. McKinney is the goal. I got one grandbaby on the ground here now and another one in April. So it's time for me to be up there.
Oh, I love it. Mazel tov on the grandbabies. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
Thank
congrats.
you. Thank you so much.
Just to know that you can depend on those few people that you believe are in your tribe, that you know that are your tribe, that you kind of depend on,
Okay.
tell things to. You know, they can help you and support you, and maybe not physically, but certainly emotionally and mentally.
Oh yeah, they've saved my sanity during all this crap. The
Well, when
last
you
2 years.
here, Luann and I can be in your tribe because we'll have more access to you.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that.
And you'll be real close to me where I'm living now. So
Excellent.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of threw some cards for you, Karen. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, please.
Cool.
Thank you.
It's definitely that time to cut those ties that you need to cut, like all the old energy that doesn't support you anymore.
Yeah.
Just leave it behind. You have to, like Luann was saying, you have to get into that mindset of the winning mindset of like, I can have this, I have the right to have this, and so to make kind of just to make that decision to move forward no matter what. You've sought a lot of help, you sought a lot of like, how can I do this and how can I make this done, but in the long run it's just been your fortitude that has like afforded you like the opportunity to do exactly what you're doing. Okay.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
only see that the steps that you're taking right now is just because of sheer strength.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been an uphill. I'm ready to coast a little.
Yeah, I get you.
Well, let me add to it just a little bit, okay? So, three times the charm. So I'm getting the same basic message, but I'm using the Angel Oracle cards that I'm so fond of. And I pulled three cards for you, baby doll, and two of them are actual Archangel cards, and there's only 10 of those in a deck of 72 cards. So this is really
Wow.
deep stuff. The first one's the Hermit card, which is Brazil. And it says, yeah, this is a special time for you to spend in quiet meditation and doing some more self-discovery because it doesn't have to be so hard. And you don't have to use sheer willpower if you will get more in touch into who you are and your own self powers and start utilizing them. And it's kind of like weightlifting. You have to use them to develop them. So start using them. And then the
Okay.
second archangel card is the Moon card, which is Haniel. And it says that you have really strong psychic insights, but you have shied away from them and you've not utilized them. And this is the time for you to start stepping into confidence and using those. And when you release everything that's holding you back, there's going to be a hole there. It's kind of like cleaning out your closet. And so when
Right.
you clean your closet, what do? We go shopping. We got to keep close because we can't have a hole in our closet. So when you get rid of all those things that are holding you back, your psychic powers are just going to fill up all those gaps. And that's going to give you so much clarity and so much peace of mind. And it says by having a move in the near future is going to ensure a happy financial status and a happy family life as well. And that it's going to give you the time to reflect on just the small things in your life and have the gratitude for those small things. And that you will finally start seeing not only the magic in the world around you, but the magic that you have inside of you.
Thank you. Well, I did the 9 points of light, the Moon Eye ceremony, I guess in early November. And apparently that kicks in like 4 to 6 months after you do this ceremony.
Tell us
But
about that. I'm not familiar with it, so I'd like to hear about it.
It's a Peruvian initiation, and basically you're a light bearer. I'm a mesa carrier. I would be able to initiate any of y'all now into that. It was a gift given. It was a closed practice by the Peruvian people for centuries, and I guess in the 90s, I guess the shamans said, no, this needs to be the world. The world needs to come into this. So they invited like an open summit and initiated all these people, and that was their point, was to bring light into the world.
When you do that, what are the responsibilities that you have now in that role?
That you are always walking in God's light, bringing it down into this realm. And
I would love to do that.
Yeah, it's in keeping. I'll send y'all the information on it. It's in keeping with what a lot of healers do anyway, but it's just that next step, I guess, to step forward and say, yes, I will do this as I walk through this life. It was interesting because I quit doing all healings. I quit doing energy work probably in August or September. I got psychically attacked by a lady.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she tried to kill me.
Oh my God.
Nearly did it.
Well, we'll have to talk about that on another show because I'd like to hear more.
That's a whole nother creation. But yeah, it's just I stepped back from all of it, and it was the time for me to go and be introspective. And it's the Moon Eye 9 points of light. So I'll send y'all the info on it.
We'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'll make sure to give it to everybody. But it's just my choice now to do that and try to do my best to walk in that light, even though sometimes I feel like I'm in the blind, leading the blind, but we'll figure it out together.
Well,
this
I want to know
2024 has been like Bird Box.
Yeah.
Have either of you had any exposure to that at all? Because I'm just totally in the dark.
I've had some exposure. I've heard of it, but I have never like actually gone through the steps. I mean, the closest that I can come to relate, Karen, is I'm not certified, but I'm blessed into the sacred cacao. And so the opening of open heart ceremony,
Yes,
And so I can do the whole ritual and everything else like that. I mean, and it's really a blessing. And so you being a Mesa carrier, I mean, I don't know if it goes along with that,
it
but it
does.
would be definitely
Absolutely. That's
something that I
that's
would
part of the
be willing to
ritual.
teach you. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Well, one of the things I like to do, and I want to do more of that in 25, is that I like to look at all the holistic healing modalities out there, regardless of their foundation, and then
Yes,
coordinate them with the Christian belief system. And I
Good.
have really been thinking about writing a book about that because, like Reiki is another form of laying of hands, which is
yes,
very prominent in the New Testament. And I could go on and on, but that's not what we're doing tonight. And, and use that as a way of maybe bringing like-minded people together so they see that they have more in common, even if they
yes,
have a foundation.
we all have that ability.
Exactly, exactly, And of course, I get in trouble with the Christian community all the time because they think I'm a hell of a pagan. So, and I'm
Well,
not. If I
just
was,
wear
if
your
I was
pointy hat.
what's funny? If I had to align with the denomination and the Christian faith, it'd probably more of the evangelical Pentecostal, with the
Yeah,
speaking in tongues, laying of hands, and biting off chicken heads and shit like that.
holding them snakes.
No, I'm not doing snakes. Oh my God, that's another
Yeah,
story. Oh,
yeah.
ugh.
I'm not a reptile person myself.
I don't get it. I want to cuddle. And of course, there's a really wonderful psychic medium on Facebook that I know. He cuddles with his snake, and it's
Oh,
No.
adorable.
no.
And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna have another drink, y'all. Here we go.
Yes, cheers.
Oh my God, what are you drinking, Karen?
I'm drinking Diet Coke, baby.
Oh,
Do
honey,
it.
no fun. You're no fun. Champagne goes straight to my head. So you know what? If anybody wants a serious reading for me, they've got about 5 or 10 minutes left.
I had all my tequila doings. I broke protocol and had tequila uh, quite a bit Saturday night. So I'm back
Well,
to my
at all the gigs,
diet.
they've all to give me, bourbon when they find out I'm a bourbon.
Ooh,
I'm like,
yes.
you do not want me drinking bourbon and doing readings at a party.
You don't want me
Not gonna
like
work.
drinking tequila at a party.
I have no
Because it's true what they
filter.
say. With me, at least, it's true what they say about tequila.
Well,
You
here's the thing.
know
I
that
do
new song, right? Tequila
Yeah,
no
makes your clothes fall off.
clothes come off.
bourbon makes my mouth open wide. No, I
I'm a
mean, I
happy
do
drunk.
I do great readings when I'm drinking, but I have no filter, and I'm real careful about what I tell people in an entertainment environment. And
Yes.
we're with Miles to Smiles Entertainment people. If y'all don't know that, I should tell y'all that. I think it's somewhere logo is somewhere in our
It's
recording.
somewhere there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. And anyway, so we do entertainment. We do intuitive entertainment at parties and conferences and all kinds of crap. Okay. But we're also showing you that we are the real deal. We are not just entertainers. We are intuitive readers. And I don't know if y'all saw, I did a blog, and I can't. This tells me no one reads my blog, so it's really sad. But I did a blog last week about the difference between standard tarot card readers and intuitive readers, and the difference between them. And I thought it was really good.
Oh, where did you post that? Because I didn't see it come through.
It's on
I'm
DeborahColleenRose.com. It's on my personal blog, but I should go add that to the Miles of Smiles blog.
yeah, please do.
Yes, please do. It'll get the exposure it needs.
Yeah, so I've started a blog for that just recently. I realized that I only have that one blog, and everything goes there. So, and I could take over the Texicon blog and post it there.
I think in both
I heard
places,
nothing.
information is necessary.
Nobody reads the Texicon blog either, so I mean nobody will notice. So what the hell? I'm just one of those poor artists that no one pays any attention to until I'm dead.
Well, it's like
Luann.
most artists, it's a 7 to 10 year journey.
Yeah, well, I've been on that journey for 50 some odd years. Luann, do a reading for me, baby.
Do a
Please.
reading for what?
For me. For me.
Oh, God, no. For you?
Yeah. So do a reading for me. And I want to go a little dark. I'm gonna go a little dark. I want you to tell me what I need to change and what I need
Oh
to
dear.
open up to. Let's go a little dark. I can handle it.
Is that going dark or just like kind of digging into stuff that you normally don't look at?
No, it's just stuff that no, Luann whips my ass constantly. So I know I can take it from her because she's really kind in the way she does, but she knocks me down constantly. So no, I want people to see kind of the difference that so the kind of reading that we did for Karen, I hope was insightful for you and I hope it gave you good information, but it's to encourage you, uplift you, and empower you. Okay. We don't do this kind of reading at parties. So note this. This is not a party reading that Luann's fixing to do for me. And I'm a big girl and I can handle it. So let's hear it, baby.
Well, first of all, you don't have the balance you need in your life
Oh, fuck you. I'm hanging up.
because right now there's a lot of fear-based things around uh, what you think is consequences of you not following a straight line. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you have fear around that. You know there's going to be some kind of consequence, and there's you feel guilty. And I think that's because you don't take the time to balance things between family and work and the rest of us.
Well,
So
let me correct you on one thing. I don't feel guilty. But here's where you're right. I feel guilty about not feeling guilty.
okay. So,
I
and
feel
it's
like I
just like
should.
I said, it's just like I said for the world in general. We feel kind of lost going into the new year because we feel, some of us feel disappointed in how our country is going to be led. And we think, well, do I get on this bandwagon? Do I get on that bandwagon? Do I make my own bandwagon? So there's something about uh, us being afraid in general, and this applies to you especially, Deborah, that we're not going to be able to make it through the minutia that happens on the political field.
I will validate that. I am worried that this country will become very anarchist in attitude.
Anarchists,
Is that a
you,
word?
you believe that anarchy will happen? So what about the Civil War that's coming?
I don't know. I do have concerns about that. But and here's what's interesting to me about that. One of the things that really highlighted that for me is that Biden signed in a bill this week that took away medical care for transgender children of the military. Now that's the exact opposite of what the Democratic Party has partied on. Is that right? Partied on for the past year. So they're right in alignment with what Trump is saying. And I think that we're going to have a lot of people that have a lot of disappointment in all of the politicians. And we saw what happened when Trump lost the election. So we do know that there can be an uprising in this country. How great
We
can
do.
it be? How
We
big can
do,
it?
but I think that us feeling lost is just temporary. It's just something that we feel is going to be the consequence, and it's really not, because we're going to find our way. We will find our way, and we
Well,
will learn to be accepted. We will learn to accept what comes next.
well, I will tell you this, I'm not afraid of anarchy. I think it's healthy, but it has to have some limitations. It has to have some leadership.
Yes,
Um,
because the other thing is that although we are attracted to the fact that we want things to change, we're going to have to remember what the past provided with us, like arguments or things that are not in alignment with the way things should be done. Does that make sense for you?
yeah, it does. So I'm not afraid and I don't feel guilty. I am worried for people around me that do get afraid. And I am concerned about being a pillar of strength for my tribe, you, Matthew,
Right,
my family, my friends,
right.
and be because we all have such different ideas. We really are all very such different people. And I want to be able to soothe and support and comfort everyone in my circle. And I'm just wondering if I'm up to the task.
Well, I think that's a part of what your world is going to look like, is to be accepted and to accept others into that circle that don't feel exactly like you do. I mean, the feeling is the same, but they believe in different ways, just like the three of us, how different our religious background is. But we get along because we want to get along, because it's okay to hear the other person's side without shutting the door in their face.
Yes. So let me say real quickly, are you finished, baby? Are you
Yeah.
finished? Is there more? Okay. So this is Stephen. He is a friend of mine, and he and I do prophetic ministry together. And I'm so glad you joined us, Stephen.
Yeah, I
Unmute
jump,
yourself.
jump in for a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna hang out for a few minutes and then I
Well,
gotta
thanks, Stephen.
I'm gonna get a hi, how are you, Mike, Matthew? But I'll play along for a little bit and just say hi.
Okay.
And
So
hi, Mickey.
does anybody have a word for Stephen that they want to share with him? And hi, Mickey. We're gonna get to you next, baby doll. I love you. Happy New Year.
Well, Stephen, is there anything that you would, I mean, that is kind of like ruminating in your head? I mean, that you want to kind of know about? What, I mean,
Are you eating ice cream?
I'm not. I'm eating the smoothest, creamiest mashed potatoes that you've ever seen in your entire
Oh
life.
my God, I'm so hungry.
No, I
Steven. I bought my car from Steven through him.
sure.
oh,
No, man, I don't think I have anything that, God and I have a very close relationship.
yeah.
And we talk often. Hell, we've met. Um, uh, I've met the other guy too. So, you know, uh,
You had your come to Jesus meeting?
I did have a come to Jesus meeting. Yeah, with Jesus. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And they
Um,
kicked Satan's ass. They kicked
he
Satan's
kicked his
ass
ass.
in the process.
Yeah, we've kicked that guy's ass a couple of times. Thing about him though, is he is steadfast, isn't he? I don't really have anything that I'm searching for. I want people in my family to be peaceful and happy. And listen, I'm a tough ornery fucker. It doesn't matter to me. I'm always happy. So
He really is. I mean, you can say, Stephen, the world is falling apart and the stores are empty. He goes, that's all right. I know a guy. I know a guy, Deborah. I know a guy.
I mean, the world's falling apart. I am the guy. That's fucking amazing. Let's go watch it burn.
So what kind of word do you have for us?
Oh,
Not to put you on the spot.
Listen, this sitting from God, but I'm gonna tell you this: go stay strapped. Okay, get your gun. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Come on,
I
Stephen.
don't know. I hadn't considered that, but I would say, I think for anybody on this chat, anybody that's around Deborah, I would say that this is an opportunity for growth.
Oh, yeah.
That for everybody, right? That everybody on this call, everybody in the world, everybody spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, pay attention to what's happening around you and know that this is going to be an electric year. I mean, this is going to be an emotional field, battlefield. There is a giant battle that's being waged in the world right now, spiritually, everywhere. This Donald Trump Democrat thing, this isn't good and evil. This is God and the devil. This is truth and lies. And that's the reality of it. It's not about politics. And so,
But don't you think, Stephen, that we're all going to personally grow from this? That it's a spiritual war, but at the same time, it's a spiritual win for all of us individually.
yeah, I absolutely for everybody. I mean, listen, if you feel like your team lost, if this was a political match, right? If you feel like your team lost, good, right? You feel your loss, and then go look at why you lost, right? And then go back and look at what truth is, and spend the time to not say, we'll talk about politics for a second. Orange man bad. Okay, fine. Orange man bad. Prove it. Right. Well, I heard they say, go look it up. Like, go spend the time, energy, and effort to go find out what is actually truth that's happening in the world, and to find out where that truth is coming from. Right. Go listen to the sources. The information's available. And if you find that maybe Orange Man is bad, but maybe everybody else is a little bit worse. Maybe the guy's just an asshole, and maybe the world hates him because there's some truth there. Quite often, the Pharisees were pretty well received, right? Like, walking around the world, they were pretty well received. They were the people to pay attention to. They were the truth tellers. And Jesus, if we really think about it, he was the outsider. He was the liar. He was the blasphemer, right? So when the whole world starts to say one guy's bad and there's really nothing there to prove it, it's probably worth looking at. Like, why do they say that? Why do they say that?
Stephen, I got to play devil's advocate here because I'm on both sides of the fence with so many different things. And I don't want to turn this into a political night.
Yeah,
However, I will say there's
yeah.
a lot of people that feel like their individual rights have not been threatened, that they have lost them. And I personally, I don't believe in karma, but I have said that because women didn't force the ERA to get processed 30 years ago, like we should have, that we're seeing the repercussions now, and there are a lot of things that are out of balance on both sides of the fence.
Well, can I ask a question? And this because this is part of the spiritual warfare and part of the spiritual lie, right? What rights have been lost by anybody?
Well, in Texas, it's an individual state. It's not as a country, except that we did lose Roe versus Wade protection. So we have the women's productive rights, and I'm going to call it what it is: abortion rights. Okay?
Yeah, it's not a reproductive. It's the anti-reproduction.
Yes,
That's
and so
the spiritual warfare that we're playing with.
Exactly. So here's my thing with the abortion rights. Yeah. If Christians were doing their jobs, women would be protected, period. And they may not look the way they think it should, but women would not be fearful of having children they don't want to have. And Christians are not, and you know me, I love God. I love God. I love Jesus Christ. But Christians are not doing their job. And if they were, women would not be feeling this. Okay. And so that's the thing that is foremost on a lot of people's mind. And it's not the only thing. So it's on both sides of the fence, though, because now look what Biden did with the transgender thing with the military. So nobody's keeping their word. No one is living up.
You know what Transgender Day of Remembrance was last year?
No.
Easter. You know where they had a transgender party at? The White House. Just a bunch of naked trans titties out running around. I'm dead serious. Naked titties running around the White House lawn on Easter.
But I just don't think that's true. Is that true? I'm going to Google that when we get off.
1,000% true. It's 100% true. Saw it on CBS.
But what does that got to do with the price of eggs in China?
Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with the price of eggs in China. Why on God's green earth would the president, I'm not talking about Joe Biden, I'm talking about the office of the world. Instead of being out there saying, hey, happy Easter, let's hide eggs, which is still a whole nother problem. But let's talk about Jesus. Don't forget Joe Biden's a Catholic, right? He's a Catholic, right? He's a Christian. He's a Catholic, right? Instead of talking about Jesus on Easter, the most powerful man on the earth, he's talking about transgenders and what a great celebration.
It's about votes, Stephen. It's about votes. It's about votes, darling.
But that's what we're talking about. And that's what I'm saying. That's where the referendum on truth comes between the spiritual warfare and this game that we're playing left and right politics about truth and negativity. There's some interesting stuff here that I'll say one more thing about this. If you want to get back and you go back and look at all of the fall of all of the empires of all time, all the falls, Greece, Rome, all of it. You know what was right before all of those empires failed? Transgenderism became a real thing across their population. Gender bending and the conversations of those things. Why? Because you're making people play a reality that's not reality. It's feelings, right? It's feelings.
I don't agree, Stephen. But I think that you're on the right track, that there are patterns in the fall of dynasties, and there are patterns there. I don't necessarily agree with
Paul today.
Pattern.
My cousin
we're
Paul,
talking about something that's less than 2% of the population,
right? Correct.
Right.
Right. And my cousin Paul is transgender. He lives 17 miles from me. Love my cousin. I was there when Nancy was born, right? My family totally support Paul being transgender, whatever. My mom was flying in at 6 o'clock in the morning today to be with Paul while he had his hysterectomy done tomorrow morning. Okay. So do we understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
His
you can love the
hysterectomy.
person, but you can still have ideas of what is right for society. I get that.
I
Yeah.
think that the people can do whatever they want to do. Nobody's saying that transgender people shouldn't exist. What we're saying is we shouldn't be advertising it on television to 7-year-old kids to poison people's minds and twist the realities and give beta blockers and literally the thing that they give to sex offenders to chemically castrate them to 7-year-olds. That's not going to work out good.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do, Stephen. I'm cutting you off right now, baby,
I haven't said
because
it. I love you.
this is not the theme of our show tonight.
But let me say this real quick and I'll end. What I'm saying is this is a referendum and this 2025 is going to be the year of this painful conversation. And it's not
Yes.
this conversation, it's going to be for the world. This was the precipice of what it was about, right? And it's going to be a year of pain for a lot of people, but hopefully they'll take that pain in and absorb where it is, put their hope in Jesus, put their hope in faith, put their faith in Christ, and move forward with what Jesus and God wants, right? Which is honesty, truth, love, kindness, peace, right? That's it. And so that's what I'm saying. It's a painful situation. It's like you got to walk home, but guess what? It's 100 degrees outside. It's a gravel road. You got no shoes. Still got to get
Well,
home.
I
It's gonna
do
be
agree
rough.
with you. We're going to have a lot of painful conversations in 2025. But here's the good news. Here's the good news that I have been seeing for the past 90 days as I've been looking and praying and meditating and doing the what I do is that individuals are going to find their own internal peace and their own internal definitions and
Right.
decisions. And this is going to allow people that have been more focused on the external now be focused on the internal. And that is going to bring about a peace that this country has not seen in a very, very long time. And I'm very hopeful about that. Very, very hopeful about that. I love you, baby. Talk to you later. All right. Mickey, are we going to see your face or are we just going to look at your picture, darling?
She says she's listening in for right now, but I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. So, I mean, if she ever brings something up or she wants to Mickey or come on board, let's listen in.
Mickey, can Matthew do a reading for you, darling? Is she there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that she said she's listening, but like I said, I'm looking at the chat right now. So, but yeah.
Well, I love these live things because you never know what direction you're going to go into. And everybody has a really valid point. It's just that we were going to stay focused on the intent of 2025. But in reality, Stephen kind of stayed on that point for at least himself.
Well,
And
I mean, it's kind of like we said before we got on. Okay,
Yeah.
what our concerns were is where people are at and going into this new year. 2025 is going to be that time. I really believe that people are going to have their eyes open on both sides.
Mhm.
yes, yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
need
there's
my
a great
husband to hear me.
divide. I think it's everyone equally is off balance,
Yeah.
but we're going to find our way to balancing.
Love you, Stephen. See you later. He said he had to run. I need my husband here. I dropped champagne down my cleavage.
Oh,
And the husbands are good for that. They're good for cleaning up messes like that. At least mine is. And now it's all
well,
cold.
I drew some cards for Mickey, whether she likes it or not. So,
Ooh, Mickey. She's being bossy. Woo, she's being
so Mickey, I want you to stay the course that you're on right now, whatever that change has been, because there's been some changes for you. And just remember, you just have to keep going, keep persevering, keep making it happen, because it will, this journey that you're on is going to be sustainable
It's
to
gonna be
make you happy
what was the
anyway.
last word you said?
This journey will make you, the change in this journey, staying the course, that's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy already, thank goodness. It's taken me, 75 years or maybe more. Uh, a lot of things are going on in my life. My husband, Mike, is in the hospital again.
Oh
He's
no, Mickey.
challenging health issues. Yeah, but I think we're on the right track.
Well,
And
just
we have
keep
we have a
persevering.
plan. So
Don't give up.
what?
Just keep going. Don't give up. Just keep going.
With him, it's always dramatic changes one day to another. Less than 2 weeks ago, he was in septic shock.
Dadgum, Mickey.
So he's
Oh my
going
goodness.
we're working on it. We're finally on the right path on that. I'm launching this business with the help of Matthew doing my advertising. And I've gotten through some health. It's been a hell of a year. I think
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, everybody said that 24 sucked for them. I don't know that it
Yeah.
sucked, but it wasn't the year that I wanted.
Well, and I think a lot of us are going to need to ask for assistance, and it's never, never a bad thing. If you're really in that tight spot and have to ask for assistance, it's okay.
it's hard though.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I know it is. I know it is, but you have those people that support you, and that's who you need to reach out to for assistance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know
I'm
it's the
sorry. Go ahead, Mickey.
roller coaster of the last month has been exhausting.
I am so sorry that you're having to deal with all this. It hurts my heart for you.
And finances everywhere suck. Anybody who's telling you that they're doing good right now is lying. Maybe they're
Yeah.
building towards something astrologically, but nobody is rocking and rolling it right now.
No.
This is not the affluent 80s.
Oh, I love the 80s. Can we go back to the 80s? I had such a
Now,
good
let's go
time.
back to the 80s where they can blow money because I was making more than I could spend.
Oh my God. There was more money and big hair and shoulder pads. I loved them both. I loved them both. And there was nothing better than going out to a gay bar after hours. Oh my God.
The 80s, I had my Yanni period. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I'll find my picture. I'll find a picture. Okay. Literally permed up front, long hair all the way down my back. Okay. Mustache. So I look like Yanni. I swear to God, I look like Yanni.
Oh my God. The 80s were fun for me. They were a lot of fun. I did a lot of dating. I did a lot of wild things. I miss the 80s. I do. I do. Oh my gosh. Well, Mickey, you have your own talents and your own intuition. Have you got anything you want to share with us?
This is a very transformative year to a lot of people. I'm seeing on a physical level people who are well their whole lives all of a sudden get challenges that they have to deal with, that they're not ready for it, they don't want it, but it's showing up. And some of this is curable, and some of it the people just stick their heels in and say, okay, when I die, I die. And I can see that they have 10, 15 years more, but they're ready to go, one little dig and they're ready to give it all up.
Okay, I know that has nothing to do with me because I've already died and I came back.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did
So
I.
you and I are good, honey. You are good. It's the other ones that
I
have
was
to
out
worry
for
about
5
it.
days.
Yeah. I was dead for 21 minutes and it was pretty traumatic for my family. I was talking about it with Scott the other night, and he says that it was so horrible. And I remember waking up in the hospital and hearing him wailing in the hospital that he says it's so traumatic for him what they told him was going to happen to me that he just blocked it all out. And I'm like, yeah, well, I proved him wrong.
I got more than a little glimpse because I was out for 5 days.
Yeah, you had a wild trip then, didn't you? Wild trip. All right. So how are we doing on the countdown? We got almost 15, a little over 15 minutes before midnight.
Excellent. Hey, Mickey,
So
just a question real quick for you. Would you mind if I lit a candle?
no, go ahead,
Oh,
please.
thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it right now. You're going to do it right now?
No, I don't have to do right now. I mean, I
Hey,
have to prepare it and
it's
so on and so
perfectly
forth.
okay. It's the last night of Hanukkah.
Oh,
Happy
how perfect.
Yeah.
dreidel, 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 dreidel. I don't know the rest of the song. Oh my God. My best friend, let me tell you something. I got kicked out of church when I was in seventh grade for defending the Jewish community because my best friend was Jewish and she was the first friend I made when we moved to the Dallas area. Okay. And our Sunday school, I don't know why I'm a Christian, but based on church, I would never be a Christian. I love God though. So anyway, I was in seventh grade. The teacher tells us the Jews are going to hell. I said,
Oh,
really? I said, it says in the Bible that the Jewish people are God's chosen people. You tell me he chose them just so he could pick them to go to hell? And she sent me out of the room for being a smart ass. That's not what she said, but that's why. And so lived close to the church, and I walked home. And the youth pastor showed up at our house at about 2 o'clock and said I had to apologize or I couldn't come back to church. I said, guess what? I'm not going back to church. And I did not apologize.
That's what it says in the Old Testament.
I was like, and this has been my lifelong experience with churches. So, when people tell me that, they're mad at God because of church, I'm like, they are not the same thing. There's God,
Not.
and then there's people. And there's God, and then there's people that go to a church.
I
Yeah.
I was raised Catholic Baptist, so that was
Oh,
an
Oh, I'm
adventure.
sorry.
I was at
What
the
does that make
Catholic
me? Wait
church.
a
We
second.
were the little half Mexican kids that were white.
are you
And at the Baptist church, we were the white kids that had a Mexican daddy and disgraced. So
Oh my God.
So
So
I guess
I
that would
got my
make me
Catholic friend
a
kicked out of
Pentecostal
church for
pagan.
6 weeks.
do what?
I said, so that would make me a Pentecostal pagan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I went to a Catholic church in fourth grade with my Catholic friend, and I went up there and took communion because I took communion at my own church because I was baptized when I was 8. And when the priest found out I was not Catholic, he forbade them from coming to church for 6 weeks.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have a really bad history with church.
Because you took part in this. Oh my goodness.
In the communion.
Well,
In the
I
sacraments of the Lord.
Oh,
I worked for a man who was Jewish, and one day we were in the operating room. We kind of get carried away with our conversations while we're doing our very best for the patient. And he said, "You know that you're going to hell for associating with me." And I went,
oh
"What are
my
you
God.
talking about?" He goes, "Because I'm Jewish." And I said, "Well, I associate with Jesus Christ, and he was Jewish." And he went,
I love it. I
he had
love it.
nothing to say to that.
people in all religions.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So, Lou, do a reading for Matthew.
Do a reading for Matthew. Okay, Matthew. You want
Lay it on me.
you want me to be careful or just say it all out?
Oh, go dark.
Sweetie, you
Go
can
dark.
be bright or you can be dark. I don't care.
Go dark. Can
At
y'all
this
hear my
point, I'll have
dog?
another one of these, and I probably wouldn't even be listening. So,
I have a bubbly head.
Okay.
Are you using the Life Tapestry cards?
Yes, of course.
Okay, do a real quick plug for our Life Tapestry cards. Luann and I are very, very proud of our cards.
They're wonderful.
We make cards with just one picture and one word. Well, explicit.
That never works.
sorry, can't see it.
There you go.
What card is it? What card is it?
Harmony. But the point is, it's one picture and one word. And what it is you really are, you really get in touch with your intuition because that just gives you a direction to go. And you know that if you go this direction, then that's what the other person needs to hear. And with your intuition, you know how to put it together. So Matthew, for you,
Oh, you're a
there's,
troublemaker.
yeah, mhm. You're going to be persistent this year, persistent to clean up your health and to get things going. And you are going to be really growing in a big way toward how your body feels and how you respond to it, and how you're just going to know. You're going to know when something's not right. And because of that, then you'll have more harmony in your life with your physical, mental, and emotional.
That's
Just
good to
know
hear.
that just know that if you don't do this communication with your body and get it straight, this is how I feel when this happens. This is how it feels when that happens. There's going to be consequences if you don't. And I think that you're ready to be in sync with what your body tells you. Ta-da! That's all.
I
I mean,
zoned
I can go
out.
on and on, but I think that that's going to be your goal for the next 3 months, to make sure that when
But if you
something
ever call
happens,
them straight again,
did I call you straight?
no, you said until you get yourself straight. And I was like, not going to happen, sister. Sorry.
I had a really good gay friend that we'd go someplace and I'd be giving him directions, and I go, now to go straight down here. He goes, you never go straight, you go gaily
You go
forward.
gaily forward.
I always loved
Go gaily
that.
forward.
Go
May I
gaily.
add something to that for Matthew? I heard
Do I
he's
what?
thinking about purchasing something and he's on the fence about it, and then he should go ahead.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. That's clear. Clear. I got it.
Are you going to tell us what it is?
I have some people that have been talking to me about actually becoming an energy broker.
An energy broker, like what?
Well, I mean, a lot of people, because Texas has been deregulated, there are a lot of new independent companies that are coming on board, that are trying to cut throat and cut down energy costs in the state of Texas. And so there's big competition right now, and there are companies that are actually paying people to come on as energy brokers to essentially say, here's the best plans that you can get. And they put themselves up front, for some of the different things that they have to offer inside of their energy plans, and I mean, even the power companies, what is it called? Power to choose.com is where they list all these. Well, there's like 20 people that aren't listed on that website because they aren't big enough to actually like result. I mean, and honestly, there's people that are being lost. And so they're offering like huge incentives if people like me can get them onboarded, with people that need energy. So
So this is obviously not Ambit because they're huge now.
they're huge. They're really big, and they are one of the people that actually, I mean, that I'm looking into. They have a great compensation package, but the thing is, their energy rates aren't comparable to some of the other ones. And so it's one of those things that I could come on board, but I could preach the incentives that Ambit gets, but I wouldn't be necessarily being able to give them the best price on energy right now.
That's interesting because when they first came out, they were. I was an Ambit
Yeah.
person for a while, and then I got distracted. But I have several friends that sold Ambit for years, and they did quite
Yeah.
well. They did really well with it. So it's not my thing, though.
Well, but thank you, Karen. I appreciate that.
That's good news. That's good news. All right. So Matthew, how's our time? We got 8 minutes before midnight. You want to do just a general reading for 2025?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think what I'm going to do is, I mean, I use a couple different decks, but I really like the Language of Light deck because it looks at the energy around like a certain thing, a certain situation. You got them?
I
Aren't they
did.
amazing?
I love these cards. I'm just now learning them. I love these cards. They're beautiful.
But try this because I have this as a suggestion. Okay, pull 3 cards for yourself in the morning, and do mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
And when you take those 3 cards, mind, body, and spirit, and really look at it to see kind of what you need, it brings a whole kind of revelation to your entire day. Because like sometime during the day, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's what the card said.
Well, I'm taking these to my gig at Six Flags in 2 weeks. I'm going to try these, and because I just love the pictures, and they are
They're
so
beautiful.
open, and I don't know, I love them. So, and I got a smaller deck that's the same deck off of Temu, but it didn't have the book with it, and I gave it to my granddaughter to play with.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead. I just had to share that with you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I love those cards. I really do.
Are we gonna get
Um,
a picture of the ball dropping when it drops?
Yeah, on my TV behind me, it should. I think it
Oh, so we'll
should.
be able to see it that way.
Hang on, I'll check.
We got 7 minutes. Go ahead.
well, I mean, I think that as far as like 2025, everything that we've been saying that that it's going to be that year that people are going to have some like big revelations. I think on both
Back.
sides of the aisle. Um, but I also believe that I think of a lot of our history is going to start coming back up for us to deal with. That we're not necessarily going to be able to leave it behind, but we're going to have to really deal with what happened instead of making up stories about it. We're going to have to look at bold-faced, I mean, like, this is what's so, we can't make anything up about it, and then go on from there. And that's the reason why I say that both sides are going to have some things that they need to look at, okay? And stop making shit up. When ever the any kind of like physical cards come up as far as like the right foot or the right hand or whatever, the right arch comes into play here, and for me that means that a lot of people are going to take this year to take that step forward. They're going to take a step to go into the directions that they've always been wanting to go, okay, but they've been fearful to actually do. Like people are in that mindset of like, I don't know how to control all this, I don't know how to manage all this, and at this point it's just going to be like, you know what, I can't. I'm just going to take a step forward. I am just going to take a step forward, and whatever is there is there. The people that are inflexible are going to be the people that get in real trouble in 2025. The people that can't sway, with the music and sway with the energy are going to be in a big, big, big amount of hurt in 2025. We are definitely reaching into the unknown. We don't know exactly what's coming for us. There's a lot of things that we, are going to have to understand. But one of the big things that is going to come out of it is we're going to surrender. We're going to be able to understand that, it's time to give up some of the things that have been keeping us stuck. So that's what I say for 2025.
Oh, that sucks.
That sucks. But the thing is that the way I look at it is kind of like getting rid of the chat. We're gonna know who we can count on. We're gonna know when we can count on them, and we're not going to put our hopes into things that are false.
But we can't discredit history. We have to review it and make sure we don't make the same mistakes twice.
All right, take 2 minutes, Lou, and you do the 2025 predictions.
All right. Oh, fine. I thought I did. Everyone is going to need their people that are close to them, everyone. And they're going to need to depend on those people that they can tell secrets to, and that special group that they hold dear. Those are the people that are going to support them, and we all need a group to support us, and that's going to be important, and that's going to be the one thing that helps us. And the other thing that can help us is
people are crazy,
just
right?
be in the moment, be grounded, practice that, be grounded in the moment. Today is today, and you need to pay attention to today. Tomorrow's going to take care of itself. Don't be afraid to ask for assistance if you need it, and that's what your tribe is for. That's what those few people that you truly depend on can do. And I think we all want in this 2025 experience more harmony, more peaceful occurrences. And I think we're all going to try to strive for that.
All right. I like that. I like it a lot. So, all right. So I have a little thing that I like to do with our life tapestry cards just to show people how easy it can be to use cards. And I call it the Las Vegas Shuffle. and I just throw down cards until I get a complete message. So first card is the intuition card. So we're really going to be relying on our intuition in 2025. We're going to have the facts supposedly coming to us from the press and from the news, but we're going to have to use not only logic, but our intuition with what's going on with that. And by getting through some of these times, we're going to have to stay focused on gratitude and what is going on in our own lives and not getting bogged down by the things outside of our own personal experiences. And that just takes common sense. You just have to use your common sense. When you do that and you stay focused on the positive in your life with the law of attraction, you're going to bring more of the good things into your life, regardless of the chaos that's surrounding you. And because of that, that's going to open the doors for more spiritual awareness and spiritual awakenings for you. And that's going to open up a new path in your life. You're not going to be tied to the physical elements of what's going on in the world around you. And that's going to break all of the curses of the ideas that we have been planted, with the communism and the A bomb and the hydrogen bomb and all those things that we grew up with in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And that's going to bring about a healing that takes us into a spiritual awareness. And when you get spiritually aware, you now are living in what we call true love. Love is acceptance of people for who they are and how they are and what they are, while taking care of yourself spiritually. And that acceptance is going to bring about divine love in your own world. So even when this world is cursed or harsh, you will find peace of mind living with you. And I think we're going to see this for lots of people in the next year.
Thank you for that. That's excellent.
So,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
12 o'clock.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.
I
Cheers.
think we're a little off. I'm watching the
Happy New
live
Year.
ball drop.
It says 12 a.m. on mine. 12
Well,
a.m.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit off. But anyway, Happy New Year to y'all.
Happy New
Let's-
Year. I got
let's sing.
Beirut happening here in my neighborhood.
Let's sing. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot in days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear. This is a Scottish song. I know that. For old lang syne. I should have started this. We'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of old lang syne. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year.
If you didn't join us, I hope you were watching us. I hope you had some fun. I hope we gave you some hope, some insights, a good laugh, if nothing else, at how silly we are. And we just want to say Happy New Year's from Lou Morris, Dr. Matthew Pierce, Deborah Colleen Rose, and Miles of Smiles Entertainment. And we hope to see y'all again through the whole year. See y'all soon.
Bye now.
Bye.
Good night. Good morning.
Bye.
Bye.